We've got a Black Friday rematch as Zach Wilson and the New York Jets are coming off a shocking, dominant win over the Houston Texans. They get a fly down to Miami, who had a shocking loss on Monday night against Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans here. Big story is going to be Tyreek Hill. How is he doing? And his ankle seems like he's going to be okay. He is on the injury report, but he's able to come back in. And I think it's more just kind of like a bum ankle, but he was able to play a little bit. But still, though, it's going to be very interesting to watch him throughout the week and also how he feels during the game because, Ryan, that offense definitely looked different when he was not on the field. And he missed I would say about half the game. That happened probably the first quarter. It didn't come back till about halfway through the third quarter, if I'm remembering correctly. So,
and even then, it still didn't really look the same. I believe after that, I don't remember their 2 touchdowns, but like they weren't off big plays to him or anything. I think they were drives that involved him, but
they had a pick 6. I think Raheem Mostert had 2 touchdowns as well. I'll double check that. But while you're talking, but
they had.
Did the Titans kind of unlock the mystery box here on the keys to success for the Jets on how they can maybe stop this offense?
I think it's definitely possible. It did definitely help that Tyreek Hill did not play. And just to confirm, the 2 touchdowns right after that put them up 27-13 before they blew that lead was a 2-play 7-yard drive with Raheem Mostert, and then a 2-play 12-yard drive that ended in another Raheem Mostert touchdown.
Oh yeah, they had the muff punt. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and so really that offense was held to very little after really throughout the whole game. I think you look at that first drive, the first scoring drive. That was a pick 6. And then their first scoring drive was 11 plays, 77 yards that ended in a 20-yard field goal. And like that was it. They scored 10 points in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, I apologize. Actually, that wasn't the muff punt. The one in the fourth quarter. That was the botch snap by Will Levis. Where was the?
The blocked punt.
No,
was that a blocked punt?
No, not even the blocked punt. It was a muff punt.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember exactly. But there was a muff punt, and then a couple plays later, then they also ended up scoring again. I'm looking at the play sheet here, but for some reason I can't see it.
Okay. But no, and like I definitely think that this offense, this is what happened to them last year. I think once when teams kind of figured out that Mike McDaniel's offense, they were able to make big adjustments for it. With that being said, this offense is still so explosive that I still think that they will amass big plays, and especially against a defensive opponent that they've played against so much. I definitely think they'll be able to scheme up something maybe a little bit different this week to maybe stifle the Jets a little bit. But you could also say the same thing that the Jets defense is going to be able to prepare better because they know them better. So it's a really interesting matchup. Personally, I think the Dolphins offense is probably fine. It really just depends if Tyreek Hill is good to go with that ankle injury or not.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be. It was funny. Did you see the text exchange that he said that he had with his wife while he's in the locker room?
No.
Oh, he said he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to go back out because he was texting her man, this stuff's painful, and it's all right. I know we're supposed to keep it a family show, but she said you get your ass back out there. The team needs you, and I was laughing at that. I was like, all right, I like it. I'm like, all right, okay. And you know what though? But it's like. My first thought though was when I saw him go down, like that was a knee, that was a broken ankle or something like that, because it really was a horse collar. I don't think Sean Murphy Bunting did it on purpose. Like obviously wasn't on purpose or anything like that, but it was not a good tackle. Should have been a penalty. But when I first saw it, I was like, shoot, there goes his season. There goes the Dolphins season, because he is. It did kind of to me go and show like he is the heart and soul of that team and all the targets that he gets, which rightfully so. I mean, like no one can really guard him, but. I will say, and then within all fairness, though, we have to give some props, I think, to the Tennessee Titans as well, and just the defense performance that they put up. So even without Jeffrey Simmons, I think it's going to be interesting to see if the Jets watch that game, which I'm sure they'll watch the film, but what they might potentially institute from that game and that overall kind of sense that type of pressure, because if there is a weak link on this Dolphins team, it is going to be that offensive line. And I think not having Jalen Phillips in this game, I think, is also going to play kind of an impact overall on how the Dolphins kind of approach this game. But do you think Zach Wilson playing is going to have any? I guess we can agree it'll be an improvement over Tim Boyle.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Wilson looked good last week. I don't know his stat line off the top of my head, but Robert Saleh came out. He said it was the best game he thinks Zach Wilson's ever played, and that he's going to be the starter next week, and that like he hopes to build off of this performance. But with that being said, saying that is Zach Wilson's best performance is a fairly low bar. I'm getting the stats here on my left. 27 of 36, 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I mean, that's a really solid performance. And he's going to have an opportunity to come in and I think do it again. This Dolphins defense under Vic Fangio is not super solid. I think they're right smack dab in the middle of average, giving up a little over 3,000 yards far this season. So like he has an opportunity to play an average defense, and this pass rush I don't think is going to be really formidable. Christian Wilkins and Bradley Chubb are going to be the two biggest ones to worry about. But even the Tennessee Titans offensive line I think was able to kind of hold back this pass rush a little bit, and now the Jets offensive line is definitely worse than that, but still it's shown that they've been able to stand up against a decent pass rush. So so I don't know. I mean, it's a really close matchup. It's a division matchup, so it's even harder to predict what's really going to happen because these matchups are always super close.
Well, and I was even too looking at the like the previous game and what were some of the drives. I noticed is like Dolphins only put up 3 points in the first quarter, and then they did end up putting 2 touchdowns on in the second quarter. But one of those was that crazy pick six to end the first half. I was actually even looking at it though. Even on the Dolphins' first drive, they should have scored. They went for it on the Jets' on fourth down. Didn't get it. And they drove all the way down the field on the next drive as well. Kicked a 38-yard field goal. Didn't have too much of a problem there. And they had a 10-play looking drive. It looks like where Tua hit Tyreek Hill actually for a touchdown just in the second quarter. Then they had their first punt of the game close to the end of the second quarter as well. Then Tua had a couple of interceptions, which was kind of that weird transition where the Jets had opportunities to stay in the game. And then even from there, when Miami got the ball, went down, kicked the field goal, and had another super long drive in the third quarter, and then scored a touchdown again to start the fourth quarter. Like there was no issues that I saw of them moving the ball, and so I'd be curious to see what the Jets try and do differently this time, and if they're able to implement any sort of kind of strategies that the Titans use to try and slow down this team, or if there wasn't really just the fact that Tyreek Hill wasn't on the field for half the game. So that'll be interesting to just go try and see if Tyreek Hill's not able to go and it's not, or if he's not at least 100%, how big of an impact will that have overall on this game? And also, is Zach Wilson going to be able to provide any more firepower than Tim Boyle did? So it's going to be very unique. It's going to be an interesting matchup here, but let's get into predictions. If you're still with us, thanks for watching the video for this long. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified whenever we create new content. Right now, we have one final goal for the year, and that is to get to 2,333 subscribers. Reason why it is that odd number is because if we hit that number, we would have gotten 2,000 new unique subscribers to the channel. We love growing our community. We love talking with you guys in the comments here and some of your guys' takes and thoughts on the football world. So like, subscribe, help us reach our goal, and also join our community. Ryan, who do you have winning this game?
So the Dolphins have not lost in Hard Rock Stadium this year. I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
They just lost in Hard Rock Stadium.
No, it said the record was 5-1 in Hard Rock on ESPN.
Yes, but even then, though,
sorry, I thought their one loss was in Kansas City, which was technically a home game, but I guess it was not marked as.
It was in Miami, yeah.
Well, still, I think the Dolphins will probably come out ahead in this one. I just think they have more playmakers. The Jets are slightly banged up as well. Breece Hall's coming off an ankle injury. This Jets offensive line is not good. And the Dolphins actually have a top 8 run defense in the NFL right now. And this passing defense is not horrible. They definitely have some good playmakers in Jalen Ramsey, Xavier Howard. So I like that group more than the Jets offensive group, which is really going to be, I think, Zach Wilson to Garrett Wilson or bust. So
yeah. I think the biggest thing with the Titans was the kind of started to see Will Levis explode a little bit more, and I think then that combined with Tyreek Hill and Titans defense is solid up front, so they were able to stymie everything. I think there was just a perfect storm of opportunities that the Titans capitalized on, which is why they got the victory there. And to be honest, coming into this video, I was trying to find a way, convince myself maybe have an upset pick here, maybe it'd be back-to-back weeks. But even then, looking at this game, that they only punted the ball one time in the first half, and then in the second half, went down, kicked the field goal, then went down, had a nice long drive for a touchdown, and then they fumbled it. They even had a couple turnovers, so it could have been even worse. I feel for what the overall score was. I believe the Dolphins had 3 turnovers in that game, so that Miami didn't even play their best game against the Jets. I feel a couple weeks ago, and they still beat them. What was it, finally 34-13? I think is what it was. So I don't think Zach Wilson's going to be able to provide that much extra firepower. Maybe they'll get it'll be a little bit more competitive, but I still think Miami's going to win this one. And 2, after that loss as well, they do still control their home field destiny because they play the Ravens in week 17. I'm pretty sure
that is a huge matchup.
A huge matchup, absolutely. So this one's still just as important as that one if they want to try and maintain their home field advantage.
Yeah,
Miami, if I did say that.
Okay. The Dolphins actually have a really tough close to the season. So they have the Jets this week, and then it's Cowboys, Ravens, Bills to close out the year. So that's going to be tough. They're going to need this one. I think if they win this, they secure the division because I think the Bills are already.
No, because if they win this,
one, the Bills are 7-6. They need the Bills. If they win this and the Bills lose one more game, then they clinch the division. So, so let's go ahead and wrap this video up here. We're both taking the Dolphins in this AFC East matchup. Again, if you could help Tyler and I reach that goal of getting to 2,333 subscribers, we would very much appreciate that. It costs you nothing, and it would be a great Christmas present for both of us. And while you're down there, go ahead and leave a comment on who you think is going to come out ahead in this AFC East matchup. Will it be the New York Jets? Will it be the Miami Dolphins? Other than that, we will see you guys next time.